Welcome to another episode of Karat Juice. I am your host, Monte Lee. This is a place where we have real conversations about a variety of topics. I am a self-proclaimed common sensiologist sent here from the future to give you a humorous dose of common sense that you can take with you throughout your day. Life is good. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the program. Make sure that you are sharing this with your friends if you feel like they would enjoy this information. And if you haven't already and you're listening to this and watching on YouTube, lend me a BMW. And I'm not talking about the car. I'm talking about if you believe in my work, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. I'll give you a second while you do that. And let's get on with the show. All right. So what I wanted to talk about on this particular episode, I wanted to talk about the rent moratorium. I wanted to talk about what's been going on revolving around the rent moratorium. And there's a lot of implications with what's going on in the world, and also the decision that Joe Biden made recently that's going to have consequences for a lot of people. So I'm going to start with this article by the AP News pertaining to a decision that President Joe Biden made recently. So this article is courtesy of AP News. It was posted on August 5th, and it's entitled, Biden's New Evictions Moratorium Faces Doubts on Legality. So, according to the Washington AP, President Joe Biden may have averted a flood of evictions and solved a growing political problem when his administration reinstated a temporary ban on evictions because of the COVID-19 crisis. But he left his lawyers with legal arguments that even he acknowledges might not stand up in court. So, the new eviction moratorium announced Tuesday by the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, and Prevention could run into opposition at the Supreme Court, where one justice in late June warned the administration not to act further without explicit congressional approval. So there are landlords from Alabama whose bid to lift the earlier pause on evictions failed, returned to federal court in Washington late Wednesday, asking for an order that would allow evictions to resume. This has been something that people have been talking about for a long time, since the beginning of the pandemic, March 2020, that there was moratoriums, there were eviction bans put in place, and that was understandable at that time because people were not able to work. People were being forced by the government to stay at home due to safety precautions. That was a year and a half ago. Okay. Those moratoriums, for the most part, are still in place. So let's go on with the article to provide some context there. The administration is counting on differences between the new order scheduled to last until October 3 and the eviction pause that lapsed over the weekend to bolster its legal case. At the very least, as Biden himself said, the new moratorium will buy some time to protect the estimated 3.6 million Americans who could face eviction from their homes. 3.6 million people are facing eviction? What have you been doing the entire pandemic? People have been able to go back to work since, November? At least. Maybe some areas, at least since the beginning of the new year. That's 8 months. What have you been doing? So let's go on with the article. Some legal scholars who doubt the new eviction ban will stand up, say its legal underpinnings are strikingly similar to the old one. Meet the new moratorium, same as the old moratorium. Ilya Somin, a George Mason University law professor who backed Biden over former President Donald Trump last year, wrote on Reason.com. Nicholas Bagley, a University of Michigan law professor, said he expects landlords all over the country to turn immediately to the courts in an effort to secure a preliminary injunction, an order that would effectively allow evictions to resume. The basic legal issue is whether the CDC has the authority in the midst of a public health crisis to impose a pause on evictions under existing federal law that dates to 1944. So I think it's clear and evident to say that there is some strange legal maneuvering and gymnastics that are happening regarding the pandemic, how things are being restricted and not, regarding vaccinations, on employers, on if they can mandate it and what's not. There's a lot happening in Washington. However, these evictions have a huge impact on not only citizens who have made poor choices, as well as a minority, some who have really been hit hard due to medical issues and stuff. And I'm not trying to downplay their plight, but this is going to affect not only those people, the people who are tenants, but the owners. Could you imagine being somebody who owns property and you haven't gotten rent from a tenant and you haven't been able to evict them since the beginning of the pandemic? Trust me, there are people out there who have not paid a dime since March 2020 and have been able to live rent-free, no eviction, nothing this entire time. And as a owner, what do? The mortgage is still due. Even with those forbearances that they allowed owners to forbear their mortgages back at the beginning of the pandemic. The caveat to that is when the forbearance ends, the entire amount is due. You don't resume payments at the same $1,500, for example, mortgage payment amount. You have to owe the whole $40,000 that was due, or your loan gets extended those amount of months that it's been forbearing, where the forbearance has been, you forbear the burden to pay is what that means. All right, so let's continue with the article. U.S. District Judge Dabney Frederick ruled in May the CDC exceeded its power under that law, a decision Bagley called measured and sensible. But Frederick kept her ruling in favor of the Alabama landlords on hold pending appeal. So in June, the Supreme Court voted 5-4 to allow the moratorium to remain in place through the end of July, even though one justice in majority, Brett Kavanaugh, wrote that he believes CDC lacked authority to order it. Extending the moratorium any further, Kavanaugh wrote, would be possible only with clear and specific congressional authorization via new legislation. So in the landlord's new court filing, lawyer Brett Shumate wrote that the CDC caved to the political pressure by extending the moratorium without providing any legal basis. The administration has until early Friday to respond. So as of August 5th, when this article was written, Congress had not acted. Neither the House nor Senate had the votes for a temporary extension, and Speaker Nancy Pelosi did not so much as hint Tuesday that she would try to move legislation through the House. So today is a day of extraordinary relief. Thanks to leadership of President Biden, the imminent fear of eviction and being put out on the street has been lifted for countless families across America. Help is here, Pelosi said in a statement. So Biden was told a new nationwide moratorium like the one that just expired would likely be blocked by courts, according to a senior White House official who spoke on condition of anonymity. So the administration went ahead without Congress weighing in after officials devised a plan with enough changes to, they hope, make it less vulnerable to court challenges. So there it is. Those are some gymnastics. Those are some of the gymnastics that I'm talking about. I'm going to go a little further down in this article. I'll link it in the description. The new order protects renters only in parts of the country where there is significant COVID-19 transmission, though in practice, it initially covers areas where 90% of the U.S. population lives. Evictions can resume once there is lasting reduction in new infections. The differences are significant, some legal scholars said. So the article says what this does is very directly link the moratorium to control of COVID-19, said Emily Benford, a Wake Forest law professor who studies health and housing. With all the information that is now known about the new Delta variant, the war on COVID has changed since last time the question of the moratorium was before the Supreme Court, she said. There's a lot here. There's a lot of citing. And that's kind of how I wanted to preface this episode, because the next thing that I wanted to talk about has to do with this story that was posted on August 7th, 2021 by Newsweek. And it is as follows. Desperate mom facing eviction raises over $230K after hoping for $2K from GoFundMe plea. So the article goes on to say a Las Vegas mother who was facing eviction has raised $230,000 from a GoFundMe campaign asking for $2,000 after not receiving a single donation for a month. So Dasha Kelly created the GoFundMe for her and her 3 daughters on July 14th. Keep that in mind. In the GoFundMe description, she wrote that they owed $1,900 for rent alone, not including utilities. She says she could pay utilities by pawning items, but that it was too hot to be homeless. We were maintaining just fine before this pandemic hit. Now we are suffering, she wrote. A month after the GoFundMe was published, CNN wrote an article about Kelly, prompting nearly 4,000 people to donate. She wrote in an update to the GoFundMe that she created the campaign out of desperation and that it was an honor to receive so much support. She tried almost everything to earn income while taking care of her family before creating the campaign, she wrote. Thank you for all your overwhelming support and kind words. We did not expect a reaction like this at all. This family is forever blessed. Okay. Nothing there, no foul there, right? Everything's on the up and up. Desperate mom, 3 kids, looking for help with the evictions pending. You know, heartwarming story, right? Let's go on with the article. She said her rent has been paid through the end of the lease. She can furnish her house and they can afford to purchase a vehicle, allowing her to return to work. She is also opening a bank account for each of her daughters, who are 5, 6, and 8 years old. They will receive new clothes, shoes, and a few toys. She just got $230,000. Okay. All right, here we go. Never would I ever want these girls to struggle and be judged like I did, she wrote. She also wrote she would pay it forward by donating some of the money to charity, as well as supporting another family who was also in need. We're forever grateful, she wrote. CNN reported that Kelly lost her job as a card dealer when the COVID-19 pandemic forced casinos to shut down. She has held temporary jobs since and had been donating her blood plasma for $100 to help keep her children fed. I just want to tell everybody thank you so much, she told CNN Aaron Burnett. I'm just so thankful. I appreciate every single one of you. Newsweek reached out to Kelly for further comment, but had not heard back by the publication of this article. Okay. So that's interesting, right? Heartwarming story, right? Wait. There's more. There is more. And we're going to find out about that here shortly. So I'm going to get this pulled up. And this clip here is courtesy of Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews. I am going to link his video in the show notes, but I just want to play the audio from this. And this is the mother of the 3 children speaking. And then I'll come back and react to it. So listen to this.
Now, this YouTuber goes by the name of Turtle Boy Sports. And guys, I'm going to leave a link to the full live stream down in the description box down below, so you can go check out all of the information. And he went over a whole bunch of different parts, which is like going into depth about her family. He was pulling up receipts regarding her brother and, right, like all of the money that it looks like he spends on his Instagram account. And also, he was just going over a lot of different information that looked into the background of this, as well as called out who he thought was the real mother by the name of Shadia Hillo, okay? Now, again, go check out the entire thing. I thought even without the mother coming on, the real mother coming on, it's extremely damning, all of the things that he was bringing up and essentially calling out way more above and beyond all of the things that I called out yesterday when I uploaded that video. But then watch what happens. This is the actual mother that comes on to the show. Let's watch.
Nobody has custody.
Nobody has custody. That's the problem here?
Nobody has custody.
Okay.
Nobody's been to court. Nobody went to court. We did not go fight for custody because we're supposed to be on the same page of, hey, you have him for a couple of days out the month. I have him for a couple of days. And we're going to work with each other to be there for the kids.
When is the last time you saw the kids?
Like 5 days ago, and I'm still waiting for them to come home because they start school today.
Have you talked to him?
I talked to him this morning when he must have realized that everything's hitting the fan and then called me and asked me to stop. But you should have never put my kids on TV, period.
Yes, of course.
That lady is not the mom for you to have consent for them to be on there. If CNN is knocking on your door, you should have called my phone and said, hey, I have your kids here. I have the CNN here, and the kids are here. Do you want them on TV? I would have flat told you no.
Yeah.
You want to be claiming some kids, go find somebody else to claim the kids, leave my kids out of it. My kids don't need to be on TV.
Yeah.
My kids don't need to be shown on there.
Because she's not a fraud.
No, not at all.
If I want to show my kids, I can show my kids. And I asked him, why are they calling her stepmom? Don't get me wrong. If you're in a relationship with somebody, of course, you're going to sit here and the kids is going to feel like, hey, let me call her mom or let me call her dad. Till this day, my kids in my house will not call my boyfriend dad.
Well, they shouldn't.
They call him by his name.
Yeah.
Nate.
Yeah.
That's what they call him. So out of respect, I guess my kids do have some type of feelings for her because she, has been in and out for a couple of days out of the year.
How long they been dating? How long they been dating?
Probably like 2 years or a year.
Okay, so they know her pretty well.
Right, but that still doesn't give you the right to sit there and put them on TV and have them sitting here patting your back like you guys are really going through something. If you want to see something going through it, you could come live at my house with a little 2-bedroom and see all these kids here.
Yeah. No,
that's going through something.
Have you contacted GoFundMe or CNN?
I've tried days since I found out about it. I've been calling, and that's why I called my best friend crying and letting her know I don't know what else to do. I'm trying to get a hold of CNN and let them know that they are putting a fake story up. What is wrong with you guys? I can show you right now. This right here is proof that those are my kids. Let me walk to the
let's see the proof.
Right here.
And Shadia, they keep asking you why your kids are going on that's their mom. CNN never.
So right there, what she just showed right there, and that was the actual mom speaking. She said she was trying to contact CNN to tell them that they published a false story. And when she walked over there, looks like she showed the kids in the room. If you look at this woman, those are her kids. The kids look just like her. They are light-skinned children. She looks like she's of like Latina descent, Hispanic descent. And Dasha Kelly is a dark-skinned black woman. No way those kids are hers. There is so much there. Where is the accountability? These people got to play for fools. They got exposed by a scammer. And where does this all tie in? What am I trying to get at with this and highlighting this? The eviction moratorium is real. There are going to be people desperate trying to figure out what to do. And what this does and what scamming, lying people like this do is they make it difficult for people who are actually struggling. They make it difficult for the mothers out there, for the single fathers out there, for the people who are really down bad and could use a handout, and that could use maybe not a handout, but that could use some actual help for an interim time for a desperate situation. They have exhausted all options. That's what that is for. And what she did is she exploited somebody else's children to put a sob story up on GoFundMe where she was originally requesting $2,000. CNN, not doing any background research, posted the story. Where is your journalistic integrity? It hit, it went viral. She stole $230,000 from people, acting like someone's mother, put the kids in the shot. I'll link the article. The children that are not hers are in this shot, in this video, this snippet that CNN did. And what about all those people that donated her money and it's not her children? She's a scammer. She's a certified scammer. So what is happening with this rent moratorium? What I'm trying to get to is there are people who are out here desperate. There are people who haven't paid their bills for a long time. And I'm not trying to ridicule people who are in a tough situation right now. But I want to acknowledge and make sure that people know that there are people who are going to be scamming out here. There are people that are going to be putting sob stories up on social media. I want you to have discernment, to use common sense when processing information. Don't believe everything that you see when people say. A lot of the reason why somebody is in the situation that they're in, there are exceptions, but for the most part, a lot of the reasons why somebody is in the predicament that they're in is because of their own life choices. If you're somebody that's going to lie with somebody else's children on live TV about them being your kids and that you're being down bad and that you have done everything that you can to try to make it for these kids to not get evicted. I can't imagine what you do when the camera is not in front of your face. So I wanted to highlight the hypocrisy, GoFundMe. There's so many people reaching out for handouts on GoFundMe when what you really need to do is go fund yourself. What you really need to do is acknowledge that you made poor choices in your life and that you can change that by actually taking some responsibility. What have you been doing the whole time that you've been at home during this rent moratorium? You should have been stacking up money, saving money, okay? thinking of a plan on how you cannot be evicted. I mean, it's been a year and a half, no evictions. You can't make this stuff up. It's really sad, honestly. And what happens in that case? Does somebody like that get charged for scamming people out of money and making a false claim that somebody else's children is yours and you get a large sum of money? I think that might be something that I don't know. I don't know what the precedent is on that. I know it doesn't sit well, and it's just not what you want. It's not. There's definitely more moral issues with that, but I don't think this person, if somebody can do that, they don't have any morals. Yeah. So I'm going to end this show on a lighter note. I wanted to talk about one more thing. So a recurring character in this podcast is none other than female rapper Iggy Azalea. She was recently on Media Takeout News as she's unveiled her newest surgery, fake abs. So as of August 8th, female rapper Iggy Azalea unveiled her newest fake body part. Last time we talked about her, she had gotten like her skin darkened this is a Caucasian female, and she got her skin darkened to where she looked somewhat Latina for a music video. And the next thing she surgically created is a six-pack. So according to Media Takeout News, the Australian rapper was spotted walking down the street in Los Angeles, flaunting her latest body upgrade. So people generally get Iggy's fake abs. People generally get Iggy's fake abs look either through ab implants or ab etching. So abdominal implant surgery, which I didn't know was a thing, is a cosmetic procedure that uses silicone implants to create the appearance of defined abdominal muscles. Patients can choose from either 6 or 8 implants to create the 6-pack or 8-pack look. Abdominal enhancement is a popular option for people who have tried to achieve the look naturally through diet and exercise, no figure, but have been unable to get their desired amount of definition. So ab etching involves removing fat deposits from between each of the stomach muscles while leaving it on top of them. The patient's natural abdominal musculature is highlighted and sculpted to look and feel more fit and firm, creating a furrow-like appearance. Fake abs are growing in popularity, especially after top rappers like Drake and Cardi B underwent the surgery. People are getting fake abs now? Really? Fake abs. Are you serious? Like, all you need to do, that is free. Like, I just don't understand why people are getting surgeries for things that are free. Literally, all you need to do is just lower your body fat percentage. Drink some water. Walk. Literally, people are getting surgery, cosmetic surgery, for something that you can obtain by just walking. I mean, I don't understand any cosmetic surgeries, really. But this has to be bottom of the barrel. We got dudes out here getting ab makeovers. Welcome to the Looney Tunes, man. Welcome to the circus. Like, how far are we going to go with just the ridiculousness, man? Like, you can't make some of this stuff up. So I'm gonna wrap this up, but next time you think about looking in the mirror and you think about, oh man, I don't like the way that this look or that looks, do me a favor. Go to somewhere called the closet, pick out, grab a shirt, okay? grab some athletic apparel, grab some shorts, some socks. Don't forget your gym shoes. Go and grab your keys, walk outside, get into your car or get on your bike if you don't have one. Put in your GPS to the nearest gym. Traverse to that gym, go inside, drink some water, and help me out, Shia. Help me out.
Do it! Do it!
Okay? Because you are able to get abs simply by lowering your body fat percentage and working out. Okay, so that's been another episode of the Carrot Juice Podcast. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all the support from you guys. These episodes come out every Tuesday. And if you want to progress, develop, become the best version of yourself, it starts with not following the trends. And it starts with having some self reflection, understanding your strengths and your weaknesses, and making sure that you grasp where you're weak, figure out where you can improve, and then doing it and applying yourself and not being afraid to fail. I feel like, I know in today's culture, instant gratification is king. Rather than working out or losing the weight, we want to have a surgery for everything. No, that's not the wave. That's not the way. And I'll leave you with that. So that's been another episode of Carrot Juice. Hug somebody, love somebody, eat something good. And I will speak to you guys next week. Be well.
There's been a lot of buzz about this fake news. You were
Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
you told me last night.
Okay. But you heard me? Does that make sense?
I hear it.